Hello everyone, welcome to the Totally Well Show. I'm your host, Joyce Strong. The Totally Well Show is a place where we get curious, ask questions, and explore everything to do with health, wellness, fitness, and all the things it takes to help you live the highest quality, most fulfilling life. I always mess it up at that line. I'm here today with Angela Babe Golden, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day today.
Thank you for having me.
For coming. And Angela likes to be called Babe, and she's been Babe for a long time. Where did that come from?
Honestly, it's been so long I don't even remember. It's been like over 20 years.
Yeah.
I was not a babe when it started, I'll tell you that though.
But you answer to it, so that's the
Yes.
most important thing. You can find Babe on Instagram because she's hip like that. Green Veggie Babe. So it's Green Veggie Babe, and on Facebook. That's the best place to connect with her if you're trying to reach out to her. And she does her work at greenenvysalonanspa.com. That's up in Nashua. And she is a lot of things, but first, a holistic esthetician. She's also certified holistic health counselor and a licensed esthetician, and a big fan of plant-based diet.
Huge.
So, Babe, tell me how this started with you. This interest in health and wellness and fitness. I met Babe at a gym. That was my first encounter with you. So I know you're into fitness, and I've done your InBody, so I know you are super fit.
Ooh.
You practice what you preach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was not always super fit. I guess I'll start with that. So I have a almost 12-year-old daughter, and right before I got pregnant with her, I was over 200 pounds.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
Yep, covered in acne, and just like completely addicted to fast food.
How old were you?
That was when I was like, from kind of like 23 to 26 is when it was really intense like that.
How did you get there? How did that happen?
I think it was because I grew up very poor. Mm-hmm. So then when I got out on my own, and it was kind of like I could have whatever I wanted, I had everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And it was just I kind of joke that it was like my Sleeping Beauty phase, where I kind of just let myself, like, for lack of a better word, like emotionally go into a coma. Mm-hmm. And I just stuffed the void with fast food and grew and grew and grew and got more and more unhealthy. And then when I got pregnant with my daughter, I got diagnosed with gestational diabetes. Wow. And my doctor at the time was amazing, and she said, "You're not going to take anything for this, you're going to fix your diet." Mm-hmm. And so I just started, I had been vegetarian on and off my whole life, mm-hmm. but I had left it behind for a few years, and I came back to that. I started watching what I was eating a little bit more, just thinking of someone else instead of just like the vanity side of it. Mm-hmm. And
you mean your baby? Yeah.
Yeah, my little girl. So I didn't want her to have any health issues when she was born. So. Yeah. And then on her first birthday, I was the healthiest and leanest I had been in years, and I just kept going.
Yeah. Wow. So, yeah. It's interesting how sometimes an illness or kind of that wake-up call can get somebody launched into a career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then from there, I loved talking about it. I loved reading about it. Anything I could get my hands on in regards to especially plant-based health, but all health. And then I was kind of helping all my friends and family along. And while the kids were little, I was able to go to school online for the holistic health counseling. Uh-huh. And that was that. And then I was doing that for a few years, but I felt like once you start hearing everyone's story, you realize how much knowledge you need to help. Yeah. And I was feeling like I was good at kind of taking you from unhealthy to more healthy. Mm-hmm. But if you were suffering with a specific health issue, it was outside of my realm, really. Mm-hmm. So I came to skincare because it goes so nicely together. Mm-hmm. And here I am.
So, and where do you live?
I live in Merrimack, New Hampshire.
Okay, so
Yeah.
not too far, and
Yeah.
that makes sense that you're at Rebel Fit and at Green Envy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, so I've been to estheticians before, and plenty of times over my life. But you've definitely got a different background, coming at it from the nutrition perspective and wellness, and also your own personal experience with it. So what a gift to be able to.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So you must have started out then because you had issues with your own skin that you wanted to address. You started to get curious maybe then. Is that true?
Yes and no. When my skin was bad, which it was very bad, I kind of just accepted it as this is my bad skin.
Yeah.
And I tried all the
You have beautiful
proactive.
skin.
Oh, thank you. Now.
Yeah.
But it was not like this.
Yeah.
I should have brought pictures, but so I feel like, there's always something new, some product to attack your face with when you're struggling with your skin, acne or aging or whatever it is you're trying to attack in that time in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when you realize that if you just are gentle and nurturing with it and you take care of the inside, it all settles itself.
Yeah,
So.
the body does miracles when you give it what
I
it
know,
needs.
it's amazing.
Yeah. So what did you have to do to become an esthetician? What's involved in that?
I had to go to beauty school, which is really everything you would think it is. Yeah. Lots of ladies, lots
Yeah.
of personalities.
Yeah.
And it was about a 7-month program.
Yeah.
Juggled school and work and children, and it came really close to breaking me mentally, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. What about it?
It was just, because I have such a natural approach and a wellness-based approach,
Yeah.
it was hard because 40 hours a week was about just the vanity side, how you look, regardless of how you get there.
Yeah.
So it was like just outside of the people and the things that I usually surround myself with.
Ah,
So.
that's really interesting because you had to be credentialed to be able to even practice. You had to go through it even though you could have taught it.
Well, it was like a very strange line to walk because I am learning all these things, but I also had to, a lot of the girls were younger that I was in school with, and so I already knew who I was and how I wanted to practice this. I just needed to attain the rest of the skills and knowledge. So it was a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I learned how to do a lot of things that I won't ever do in my own treatment room, but at least
Like
I know.
what? What kind of things?
There's for one thing that I'm really, chemical peels are something that a lot of people like to use a lot, and I feel like maybe if you've got a plant-based, I don't even want to say chemical, but a plant-based enzyme that you're using, very sporadically, it's okay, but it's all about just getting everything off in the aesthetics world, it seems like, instead of putting the right stuff in, and that's more what I like to do.
So what kinds of things do you put in? Do you recommend with your clients to put in? When you say put in, what does that mean?
I would say, for most of my clients, I recommend scaling way back. Most people are using so many ingredients on their skin that a lot of the things they're seeing are irritation from chemicals and from fragrances and from preservatives. And when you get rid of all that, you give your skin the adjustment period, it's amazing what it can do, like we just said, with healing itself. I mean, it's not constantly fighting all those chemicals that you're trying to put on to help it. So I have everyone scale way back. I like a lot of people I'll just have use tea tree oil, jojoba oil, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so just get to a baseline and then move forward from there.
Wow, that's really nice to hear.
Oh, yeah. Easier than we think, right?
I do the same thing with supplements where I say, well, let's take them all out first.
Yeah.
Because people, and the money that people spend on this, and I think it's probably as bad or worse in the cosmetics and chemicals that people use.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. And we're just like always bombarded with the newest thing that we should be using with supplements and with skincare. And a lot of times if you just pause with your health and wellness, just keep on the course, you really don't need all these different things all the time.
And a lot of these companies that make these products and sell these products have a ton of money, and we're buying the marketing, we're buying the color of the bottle, the shape of the bottle, or the promise.
Exactly.
That's shallow.
Exactly.
Yeah, or hollow.
Yeah, hollow. Yeah, that's another thing I'm actually really excited about is in my treatment room, I have this amazing product line that I use that is from a woman in Northwood, New Hampshire. And it's kind of opposite of what we're talking about with the big business, where it's just one woman. She makes and packages all her products, and they're all wild crafted and super simple. So again, just like reeling back.
Yeah.
Simplicity is key.
So how does one get involved? Like how does a person decide that they need want to see an esthetician? Like what might bring a person in for the first time?
Most of my clients I see once a month. So whether you think you have something specific for me to target or not, I think it's beneficial. It's like a massage in the sense that you're scheduling that time for yourself, because we're always talking about self-care, but especially as women, we rarely take the time to actually do anything for ourselves. I mean, 10 minutes for any working mother especially is like unheard of.
Yeah.
So
you focus mostly on the face?
Correct. So I would focus on your décolleté and your face.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll come in and you will have something specific that we should be looking at and treating. Sometimes when you come in, you really just need an hour of relaxation, and that's going to be something that, like I said, similar to massage. With facial massage, you can do a lot of I don't want to say anti-aging because I am pro-aging, but
yes,
you can
we're still here.
smooth everything out. I use tools to help drain your lymphatic system, which can help a lot with puffiness and redness.
Sure. And when you say tools, is that methods or an actual instrument?
Both.
Okay.
So with facial massage, and also I will use rollers, gemstone rollers, and a gua sha tool, which is a stone disc, and you smooth it over the face during your massage, and it just helps to relax everything and drain the lymph.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's really nice.
I think it makes a big difference to be able to realize the stress in your face and your shoulders, your neck, you know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And women have a hard time relaxing. Even when they're on the table, when I am like first cleansing the face, they'll lift their chins up and try to, and it's like, no, just relax.
Let me do it.
Yeah, exactly. And some people even take a nap.
Yeah?
But, yeah. But I also do waxing. That's not relaxing. But it's satisfying for everyone. So.
Yeah, to do the waxing piece. So I'm curious how you blend in some of the education piece of it, because you're doing a treatment, but you're also a teacher. You're also educating and supporting people in their self-care.
Yes.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the different areas that you do the teaching and when you apply? Is it part of it, or is it depends on the person if they want it?
Oh, well, you're going to get it.
Okay.
And a traditional facial from a traditional esthetician, most of your treatment is going to be silent. With me, I do ask for a little more information when you first come in. I have them fill out a health history, so I kind of know where they're coming from and what their goals are. And then once they're on the table under the light, I look at their skin, and that's usually when we also talk about their lifestyle and their diet. Not hugely in depth at that point, usually just if I notice inflammation, we might talk about how much dairy they're eating or sugar. And it's more than anything, I think people have more knowledge than they give themselves credit for, but they're not often asked the questions. So I kind of lead you down your own path so that you start thinking about it yourself.
So do they expect or know when they come in that this is going to be different than what they've had before?
Some, not all.
So you don't announce it. You don't tell them. You don't warn it, or you don't market it that way. The people. I mean, maybe by your title, holistic,
right.
They get it.
But it's not.
But what a surprise if you're all of a sudden, because mine have been small talk in silence.
Yep.
Just small comfort, small talk, and how are the kids, and what do you do, and small talk, not anything personal.
And it all comes out on our face. It has to be personal. And it has to be really personal, because for women too, with your skin, your hormones play a big part. Oh, yeah. So that gets really personal.
Yeah.
But I think that it's, just you and I, the room has great energy. It's quiet, it's calm, you're relaxed. It's a great time to talk about your health.
So you kind of read the person with your own intuition, and then you decide how you're going to get there.
Correct.
You don't just push them into it.
Exactly.
But you ask the questions.
Yeah.
You do get there. Okay.
I've had a few clients that did not realize it. They just scheduled facials, and then when they're on the table, it easily comes between us, and then before you know it, they don't realize that they needed a holistic esthetician, but they do.
Do you ever have any fails?
Oh, I mean, in life, many.
No, I mean, in that situation, did you ever have somebody say, I didn't come here to talk about this, I just,
I feel like if I'm asking the questions and you're really not receptive to it, I'm not going to push it.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's something you have to do yourself.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be led down that road, I'm not going to force you down.
So you have had some people who have given you that vibe?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know. Most people...
I definitely have. With people who have come to me for weight loss and like, I don't want to talk about any life stuff. I just want to know about the food. And I'm like, yeah, but I can tell you all of this and you're not going to do it. So if you're not doing it, then it can't be the food that's the problem. You know what to do. You're just not doing it. So
maybe it's because I take them by surprise.
Yeah.
Because with you, they come in thinking they're just going to talk about the food. With me, I don't know. They're laying down, they're relaxed. I get them with surprise, and it works. I don't know. It's. I think everyone has been receptive to it so far. But I'm only.
Well, maybe I should start practicing where I lay them down on the table, turn the lights off.
Yeah, exactly. Just have them lay their head on the table.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So, so you get into their health history, so you know if they're on medications. You start to get information about their lifestyle, and then you piece by piece, month by month, give them education around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people need a lot of time just to get their water intake to where it needs to be.
I agree.
It's so simple, but it's something that everyone slacks on.
Yeah.
So that a lot of people want help navigating getting rid of dairy in their lives. That seems to be a struggle for a lot of people. That can make a big difference.
Why is dairy an enemy for you?
Well, I don't want to say it's an enemy. My children and my husband eat dairy, so if I, but I think for inflammation, it's one of the leading causes of inflammation, and I think that it's one of those things that once you get used to it, you can easily go without, and it's just, I can't think of a lot of benefits it has. I mean, it's high in protein, but it's also very high in fat, and then when it's not high in fat, it's a little strange what it is. So
it's been treated.
Yeah.
So it's worth. I always say to people, it's an absolutely free experiment for you to do to see if you feel better.
Yeah.
If your skin is better, if your health is better, in all the different ways it can be. So it's worth it. And a lot of times people will say they've taken dairy out, but they've taken it out for a day or two, or they don't take it out long enough.
Yes.
And to really.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny, that's the same with skin, where they'll say, oh, well, I haven't done this, and then they start thinking, and it's like, oh, well, I did have it the other day. And and it's not like as soon as you take the bite, you're going to see the breakout or
make antibodies to it, and you get it from the different things, problems.
Right,
occur.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it takes time, like everything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
but you get to talk about specifically what they're eating. It must be tricky where, for you too, like it is with me, to particularly you have a plant base. I want to ask you about that now. To not, if somebody's way over here and you're over here, to kind of bring them along. So can we talk a little bit about your you started a plant-based diet, your body responded well to it, and you've stuck with it. Now you've become an advocate for it. So
I don't. So I think that someone who coaches or counsels versus someone that just themselves leads whatever lifestyle they're promoting, I think that right there makes a huge difference in regard to your question, because I have met with so many people and heard so many different health stories that I'm not going to say, it's not a dogma that everyone must follow, everyone must be vegan. Every body is different, and I can understand that from all the coaching, and I'm sure you can too.
Yeah, I agree. I've been saying this week, we're all unicorns. It's just one of us.
Exactly. So if you are on this end of the spectrum and I'm on this end, that's okay with me.
Yeah.
You and I can work together to find, if you're just someone that loves a hamburger and you just can't imagine your life without a hamburger, fine. But for the other, 20 meals of the week, can we talk about something a little more plant-based?
Yeah.
It's just finding your balance.
Yeah.
And anything I can do to help as far as helping with substitutions.
Yeah.
Or different ideas, or sometimes people, they get, especially with the vegan thing, I feel like you get this sense that if you even dip your toe in the water, then you have to throw away all your leather shoes and never have an egg again, and it's like every little bit counts, and I think hopefully that's what I'm getting across to my people.
So somebody doesn't have to be 100% vegan, they can be more the plant slant idea?
I love that, plant slant,
yes.
Yes, definitely, exactly.
Yeah.
Add more greens. The micronutrients are so important, and I think that when you're on a standard American diet, that's something that's hugely lacking. So getting in all your fruits and veggies, and then kind of whatever else you want to throw in there. For me, it's, beans and tofu, but for you, maybe it's cheese and burger. As long as you're getting all the veggies and berries and fruits in there too, fine.
So the importance back to the connection with your skin, which is the largest organ on your body.
Yes.
The macronutrients, the micronutrients that are in them that help support the growth and healing and detoxification pathways and things like that.
Yes. And coming back to it being your biggest organ, thinking about what you're putting. I know a lot of people that are super healthy in what they're eating, but then they're putting anything on their skin. And I just feel like that's something that we could all work on, is getting a little more green in our beauty across the board. There's so many soaps, lotions, makeup, hair care for us to all be thinking about that we don't. So, but I want it to work too.
Yeah, it's things are absorbed through your skin, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, of course, the toxicity that happens, the body has to deal with this and do the work of it. So, yeah.
Are you familiar with the Environmental Working Group?
I am, yeah.
So if they have the website, the ewg.com /skin deep, and you can actually, it's this huge database, so you can put in any products you're using, and it rates them on toxicity.
Oh yeah, we should put that up on, so ewg.org
/skin deep.
One word?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So then, just to give you an idea of what you're using and how it rates, and doesn't mean you have to throw everything out and start over.
Don't they have an app that you can scan some things?
I'm sure they do. I'm very low tech.
I'm not sure, but
yeah,
they should.
Yeah. No, I think they do, and I think there's another app out there where you can just scan the barcodes and it gives you the same thing, but I can't remember off the top of my head what that one is called.
Well, the EWG does the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, and that's how I became familiar with them.
Yep.
So that's great. I wonder too if you had pictures, we can add them to this video if you had before and after pictures.
Oh, those are hard to come by on purpose. Yes, I will say that my wedding dress, at the time, I got the largest size the store had, and then I had to have it cut up the back and a corset back put in so that I could fit in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's where I was at. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I had never exercised growing up because, like I said, I grew up really, really poor.
Yeah.
So sports were not happening. We moved all the time. It was just like, so I never did sports. And then after I had my son, I decided to try to take up running. And I did a couch to 5K group with Runner's Alley, which is a few stores in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of that runners group, we had to write a goal for the group. And my goal was just to run the 5K without stopping, because at that point I could not even run, or jog, I should say, a city block without having to stop and breathe.
Wow.
And that one thing that I did, it just catapulted me into, now I run and I hike like a crazy person, and I lift weights, and just, all those little things that we can do that can really make a big difference. So.
Well, I am so inspired by you, and you are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Inside and out.
I try.
Yeah, yeah. We are about out of time. We have a little bit of time
fast.
left, but I know I told you it would be. I always like to ask my guests at the end of the show, what top 3 things does it take for you to be totally well?
I would say number 1, we call it in my house and with my clients, the morning chug. So first thing in the morning, before you give yourself coffee or breakfast or anything else, as much water as you can kind of put down in a couple minutes. So for me, I do like 32 ounces.
Yeah.
But some people start with like 8 or 4, whatever you can do, because at that point you've gone 10 to 12 hours without any water, and it just helps all that stuff your body was working on overnight, helps flush that out, gives you a great bowel movement, which is all healthy. So
it's one of my, you'll be happy to know, it's one of my new habits that I've established, that before the coffee comes the morning. I didn't call it the morning chug, but if I'm going to get the coffee, I have to cross this, do this step.
Yes,
so
good.
It
makes a huge difference.
Now I'm going to call it the morning chug, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sets the tone for the rest of the day with your water, too. I feel like if you've already done that morning chug, you kind of keep going throughout the day. If you start dehydrated, then before you know it's bedtime.
Then there's
and
resistance to it. Yeah.
Exactly. So morning chug, 1 leafy green meal. I need it every day. And then being outside in the woods is, I need that for my mental health and my physical health.
Yeah, your forest bathing, your meditation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that getting outside and sweating
Yeah.
is the best thing. It's so different than the gym. Even a great gym, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
It just helps unravel all those mental clogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And all the energy that's there.
Exactly.
For you.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, I really appreciate your coming
Thank
today
you for
and
having
sharing, and I can't wait to come book an appointment with you. I'd really love to see a different approach to skincare, and I really love your philosophy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome, and I'm sure we've helped a lot of people.
I hope so.
So reach out to Angela Babe Golden, and she is the Green Veggie Babe. IG, hashtag.
I think you got them all.